Hello and welcome to the Halo Forge Epidemic. This is Oakley HiDef. What's up, guys? And I'm responding to a community request for a tutorial on UNSC Mecs. So that's what this is, made by me. So what we're doing here is I'm just going to show you a couple of the mechs I built. I'm going to show you the basic techniques, and from there you can go ahead and make all sorts of mechs. So I've done a couple different designs, from the basic walking mech with 2 feet, cockpit, and guns, to a quadrupod here that was inspired from Star Wars. You know, the Separatists, I think, had a little spider bot that looks something like this with a couple legs and a little turret on top. And then over here, it's a sort of bigger lumbering tank-like vehicle. So I'll show you the techniques for each of those, how to make them, and what elements you want to keep in mind as you're building these. Over here, even a dropship and stuff like that. So let's get started. So over here, this is probably my favorite. It looks like the mechs out of Matrix or Avatar. That's where I got my inspiration. So as you take a look at it, it's got a couple key characteristics. So the first feature is, the central cockpit area that looks kind of exposed, where the human, the pilot, would sit maybe around here. Second feature is it has 2 legs. The legs are not in the same position. If they're both like this, center of mass of the vehicle is here, it would sit down and plop down every time. So what I had to keep in mind was to make them alternating in order to have sort of a semblance of balance for the vehicle. Another element is you have the foot of the vehicle with the toe here, and I've added hydraulics to the back to simulate something that would add either mobility and function to the vehicle, or serve as a dampener or a shocking system, system to absorb pressure as it walks through in different areas. So I've added a lot of functionality to the vehicle, and then of course the gun turrets on top. So over here I recreated the vehicle in a couple smaller pieces just so you can see it. So let's go ahead and pull this apart rather quickly. So the vehicle itself, I started off forging this with the cockpit in mind. That's where you want to start on any of these vehicles. I would say start with where the pilot is going to be. So you have several options. So for the cockpit itself, I wanted it to be relatively basic. I wanted it to look cool though, and I want it to have sort of curved feel where okay, this is where the pilot's going to go ahead and sit. So first, right off the bat, what I did is I knew I wanted to use a crate just because it has cool texture, cool color. So I went ahead and grabbed a large crate, put it, sizable amount off the ground, and put it on phased. Then what I did is I used a wall corner piece, dropped it in, just about halfway through, just like this, so you can still see the crate. Then after that, what I started doing is I dropped down teleporter frames right here in the middle. The reason behind that was I wanted it to be linked to the sides, so the teleporter frames allow the central cockpit to be linked to the legs on the side, and also the bottom here comes together to form a nice sort of area where the human or the pilot could sit inside. So it does look like that's where a pilot could be. It adds a little more girth to it. Then I added another teleporter frame. Let's see, I think it was right about here, to encase the pilot a bit more. Then this teleporter frame here is built so that the back sort of mirrors the back of the corner piece, and it will come up here. And this one, you can either put it down low so it adds a little more shielding. I think this looks cool. Or what you can do is put it up high to kind of cover that up. I think in this design I'm going to put it down low. What this does is it kind of rounds off this whole area here, such that it looks like this is really well bunkered up, whereas the other one's a little more open. This one looks closed. Then over here, what I did was I dropped, this is a window piece right here in the middle, just to beef this part up. Now let's take a look at this before I throw in the feet. What you'll see with this is that I didn't really, this is kind of a generic design. So with this cockpit, you can actually do this for all sorts of things. So maybe with this cockpit design, you can add wings, you can add 4 feet. I would start with a general cockpit, maybe this design. Then what you want to do is maybe attach pieces here. That way it looks like it's connected to this. What I used for the foot was actually a door piece. I think it looks really nice. The color is great. And by sinking it in just like this, you have wide support for the ankle type of piece, and then it sinks down here, makes a nice toe, and then antenna here to make the hydraulics, I think is very convincing. Then what you have over here is a drop pod. So using the same cockpit idea, what you have on the inside actually is this can deploy troops. So here again we have your little volunteers. So you could actually use this in the map where they would go ahead and deploy. So there you go, you can drop out, you know, a bunch of heavily armed Marines. So that would be kind of cool for an invasion map. Have drop pods drop these troops off and then they go ahead and shoot. So that would be a really cool thing to do. So yeah, these guys are gonna go ahead and shoot and demonstrate what this would look like. So now let's take a look at the design. So the design itself uses this wall corner piece in the back with the crate and teleporter frame. Then over on the sides I changed up the design a bit. I used these corner pieces here to be able to close it up a bit more. So there you go, it's closed off right here and on either side. Then what I did is I put bridge small, so you can have these maybe, you know, closed off, and then they would gate out if it's invasion. Or what you can do is if you want to make it look like troops can deploy from here, you know, you kind of just flip it up just like that, and you make it look like it can open and close. Then over on the side, instead of putting feet, what it is, I put these thruster pods. So bridge small, you know, on the left, on the right, both enclosing this block 2x1 in the center, and then I put man cannons on the bottom to provide, you know, thrust to keep this vehicle afloat. Again, I didn't put them at the same direction just to add more that it's like very maneuverable, and then it's counterbalancing the weight. Sorry. So this looks very nice. Over here we're going to keep moving along. This one over here has the gun on top. You know, standard design with the barricade, large block teleporter frame that links it to the bottom, and then you have antenna piece here with a column. Now for the main body itself, pretty easy actually. So what you have is bridge medium here forming the bottom. Then you have block 1x1 shorts, you know, for the corners, and then a bridge medium here to round off the front. Then over in the back, bridge medium right here to make the whole back. And then here, teleporter frames, you know, it's a little boring without them, so I added a little more girth to the side of the vehicle, and also it sticks up in the middle, which I wanted, you know, a little more stronger looking center line. Then cover pieces on top right here to hide everything. Then to make the legs, I would recommend using these door double pieces here. They're very useful, you know, they look great, they have a lot of cool looks to them, and if you hide the two hooks at either end, it really looks like it's just connecting. So connect it to the main body, and then again I would recommend using these door pieces right here, as they serve well for feet. Over here we're moving on to the last one, which is a tank. So here, this is in the platform section, this is a corner 4x4, I'll lift that up for you. So I sunk it in just like this as a sort of protector piece for the treads. For the treads of the wheels themselves, capture plates here with the eagle not facing up and down, sideways, so it implies that it is able to roll. Then over here, this is just a platform Y, put in the back just to add color, a little more framework to it, a little lighting. For the main part itself, I didn't finish this, I just had one side. You have platform extra large here. This is a block 2x4 for the main body here. Cover piece up in front to be the fender, kind of change up the colors. Sniper nest here just to add, you know, a little more pieces on the side, linking the main turret to the side, add stability. You got a block here, and then this is where I used a tunnel short piece here, which isn't used very often. I figured I'd use it as the main neck for this gun that's sticking out. Block 1x2 here. Then you have a teleporter frame here. And then for the guns themselves, I used door pieces just because I wanted to change it up. I think it looks very good, stocky, it looks awesome. Instead of the antennas, which are a little frailer, these might shoot huge pieces, or it could be artillery. Then column piece right here. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed. This has been Oakley HiDef with the Halo Forge Epidemic. Again, here with my volunteers. So thanks guys for all your help. I hope you enjoyed. Use these designs for everything you'd like. Download the map, make sure to like the video, subscribe. Thanks guys, you're the best. Keep the submissions rolling and the requests rolling as well. Thank you. Signing out.